So by the time I actually got back out to the main streets, things had already gone. Jamala Rogers was one of the founders of our organization. She and several members of the Organization for Black Struggle had taken like a stance. They created a boundary between the police and the folks in the streets. We had other members on the sides trying to actually just talk folks down, like, we can do this, we can fight, you ain't gotta destroy. And I'll never forget Mama Juju. She was like, you go over some weave. She just broke down. She's like, you go do all over some weave. They just, when they went into one of the hair shops. But the explosion that happened that night, it happened because policing authorities refused to actually engage people directly. We'd come to them the evening of the event. We expected them to actually talk to us the next day, and they refused to. So it wasn't just the anger over Mike Brown. This was accumulated over a generation, more than a generation, of folks who actually felt powerless to do anything and to push back. The anger bubbled over, and we don't judge the way it expressed itself on the street. We were there. We felt the same hurt. We felt the same pain. The immediate responses on our part took a couple of different forms. We'd actually already called for like a series of demonstrations that were happening during the day. But by the third day, after Sunday, the word had come down that, I'm putting myself in a position because I know I'm on camera. The word had come down that Reverend Sharpton was coming to town. For us, this said a couple of things. And let me be explicit because this is the conversation that took place. We understood, those of us that had already been involved, that usually when he or Jesse is deployed, they're sent specifically to quell these situations. So when they come out, that means they're trying to put a cap on this. So the initial table that had pulled together in response separated because some of them saw what they saw as an opportunity with him showing up to get greater attention. Some of us refused to actually accept that. And we said, no, it's time for us to stop and get organized. Okay? So in the wake of that, like I said, that's where you saw various fronts emerge. And you'll still see them emerge. Like some of those folks, I think, have another march, I think on Ferguson that's coming up later this month or early next month. And I don't judge that because some of them have been long-term actors in the movement. They've been doing good work. They committed to their people. But like I said, in the scope of things as we understand it, we know the role that some folks are called to play. And if we were going to get the transformation that we've been fighting for, some of us had to actually put our foot down and just not accept that. So in that moment, there was actually a separation and a new coalition was actually brought together. We put out a call to those allies across the spectrum. Folks actually came to the fore and said, they said there are a few things we need to do in this moment. One, we do want to put out a broad unity statement for those that actually need clarity and know where they want to stand so they know how they can stand with us. But two, we need an immediate emergency response. That's when we actually went to Greater St. Mark's. We actually felt that there's no way we could actually stop the police, but those folks that are going to be in the streets anyway, we could be there for them. We can actually be there to support them. We can show them how to engage. We can help them deal with the violence that's being rained out on top of them. The other side that came out of that moment for St. Louis was actually unprecedented in the fact that we pulled together a coalition of more than 50 groups across a wide and deep spectrum, meaning folks that in many cases have irreconcilable differences, both because of the nature of the crisis and because of our relationship with them, chose to stand together at that moment. That's what, when you see in the news, you see the Don't Shoot Coalition, that's what that body is. And we're very clear that Don't Shoot is brass tops, is policy, is pushing above board. There are other groups that are part of Don't Shoot that are also doing transformative work and having transformative conversations. But we made that decision early on that we know we need both in that moment.